foot traffic as well as traffic by sea. It connects the north to the rest of the Sword Coast, and there are some aspects of Neverwinter which make it unique amongst the many cities that line the Sword Coast, most of which is the ever active volcano, Mount Hootnau, whose geothermal energy is enough to heat the streams and the ground of Neverwinter itself, such that even in the peak of winter, the water does not freeze. And being called the City of Skilled Hands, they are capable of growing crops year-round. By one matter or another, each of your characters have found themselves in Neverwinter, and that's not too uncommon. People come and go from Neverwinter for all kinds of different reasons. About any kind of race or species of person that you can imagine has stepped foot in Neverwinter, typically for commerce or for travel, and sometimes even for vacation. So for whatever reason that you have found yourself arriving here, you've also found yourself at a particularly curious time, because ironically, in spite of the city's name of Neverwinter, there have been several months of unyielding cold and frozen condition. In fact, the folks of Neverwinter are quickly approaching the spring harvest, a time which is typically a celebration of the yielding of the winter. And as they approach this milestone, folks are beginning to believe that this winter may never end. There's a lot of speculation about what's happening, and there's, of course, the government hasn't been too helpful in discerning information to and amongst the populace. But what has cropped up around the city has been flyers, banners, folks calling for adventurers to meet at the court of the Lord Protector, Dagult Neverember. You might recall Dagult Neverember from his role within the Rise of Tiamat campaign. If you remember that, he's one of the council members there. And one way or another, each of you has found yourself in possession of either a flyer or an invitation to the court itself. The court is lavish. It is, let me see if I can pull it up. I'm going to be so fast with this one day, it's going to be crazy. The massive castle sitting at the edge of the coast, overlooking the sea. It is a large keep, and one way or another, you each find yourself standing in line, it seems, that amongst a myriad of different adventurers. They're letting folks in single file. And I'll also kind of give the map of Neverwinter itself that we'll be using. So the keep's location is right here. Does my little blinker work? Yeah. Boink. Killing it. All right. Where is everyone in line? Who is the closest to the front of the line? A large door. Looks like it's made out of iron and wood. I saw Owen's character.
I could be quite close.
No, you could be quite close.
I could.
If you like.
I would want to. I would be eager to help.
All right. As you approach, there are two individuals. One is standing Tall, arms folded. He's in a lavish suit of full plate armor. A battle axe rests on his back, and it seems as though this individual has a large, scruffy, salt and pepper beard. They are bald-headed, with the exception of a little tuft of hair that sits right at the top of their head, and they have a scar that goes right down their right eye. But it's a very old-looking scar, well matted. He's standing, and next to him is a common-looking teenage boy. Not. He's sitting with a bunch of paperwork and pen and pencil, and seems to be a scribe of some sort. And it seems as though he just finished interrogating some adventurer that had just walked in.
Hello.
Hi, who are you?
Owen. Owen Mesliad.
Sorry?
Owen Mesliad.
Mesliad. What's that? What's that last name?
It's my last name. You might know some of my family.
Boy, did you get that? And it's like, yes, and he's quickly scribing his name down. So, all right, Owen, you're an adventurer, eh?
That's right.
Where are you from?
Here, actually, Neverwinter.
All right. I guess that's believable. I guess the last name does ring a bit of a bell. All right. Where you been the past few months?
Well, I suppose I had been off visiting family outside of the city.
All right. How they doing?
Good.
Is it cold? Is it cold over there?
Not
Outside the city.
Not as cold as it is here. It's supposed to be getting warmer. I assume that's why we're all gathering here.
All right. Check in your weapons.
Right. And I'll take out a long sword and place it down.
All right. He picks up the long sword. He walks it over to.
Do you care about shields? It's not really a weapon.
Can you use it as a weapon?
I put down the shield on the table.
All right. He walks over, picks up the shield as well, and he walks over and puts them on a rack with a bunch of other weapons that have been pulled out, and he walks over to the boy, and he takes kind of a tag, I suppose, almost like a sticker, and puts it on your weapons. Like you can get them when you leave. All right. This one looks like he's good to go, and the boy says okay, and hands you another tab. It looks like it is. It has your name on it. It kind of looks like a name tag.
Nice. I'll put it on my mail. Thank you. And
All right, Owen. Join the queue. All right. And Owen, as you walk in, you will find that there's a large sort of open court area, and a number of different folks who look like myriad of different kinds of adventurers have already shown up in this space. Folks are kind of milling about, talking, chatting. You can easily walk in. It looks like they have provided kind of a spread of a number of different hors d'oeuvres and drinks, and so trying to be cordial in this space. You might also find that the entire space is surrounded by similarly armored and armed individuals. And as Owen wanders in, who would be next to arrive?
Sindri, would you like to take the lead?
Hell yeah, we fall on board. Remember? You would go first.
How about we go together?
Okay.
I trot up, and approaching him, you'll find that it is a priestly man, very obviously. There's, on his back, there's a symbolic crest of a blooming rose over grain, and he carries with him a holy symbol in his hand, made of fake gold. And as he approaches, he does have a mace on his hip and a crossbow. he approaches and puts them down and goes, "What's wrong? Don't trust a holy man?"
My job not to trust anyone. Who are you?
Ashante Breslin. I come from the Harvest House of Daggerfall. I'm here on behalf of Chanthea to see if I can assist with any famine, if there happens to be any in this blight.
Oh yeah, we've heard word from the harvest folk. All right. How long you been here, by the way? Did you just get in?
Just got in, got word of the climate change and, had to have all those clerical bureaucracy meetings first.
Of course. And who's your friend?
Hi, I'm Sindri. Nice to meet you. Now, I guess what constitutes as weapon? I saw a man earlier put a shield down. So I have a stick. I'll put that down.
And you hurt people with that stick.
Look at Alshante. Yeah,
All right. You said Sindri.
Sindri. That's my
You've got a last name, Sindri.
No. Why would I name one?
Well, I don't know. I'm just trying to be, complete with the way that I do my work. Boy, to get that. And it's like, yeah.
I do have a
Why do you have
concern.
last name?
Oh, wait.
You and everyone else. You got a problem.
I do have a concern. I know that this is all for security purposes, and that's quite alright. But, speaking for ourselves, we can cast magic, and who's to say... Do you have a plan in place if a magic user was to cause havoc?
Absolutely. You think that the Lord Protector would himself go unprotected?
What about birds?
I want to ask if he's confident in that answer. I want to insight check him.
Yeah. Roll insight check.
23?
23.
Why is it at
You-
advantage? Oh, that's why. It erase things.
What?
You look into this man's eyes, and he seemed both in his tone and in his gaze unwavering.
Well, then, Sindri, it looks like we'll be safe here, to say the least.
What about like birds and stuff and little critters? Is there like anything against that? Can I bring that in, or do I have to leave them here at the front door?
Wait a second. How many critters do you have?
She kind of like shakes her hair a little bit. You can hear like little tweaking sounds from birds that build nests in her very unkempt red hair. I think like maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 4 now.
Can you hurt people with the birds?
I mean,
Technically, you can hurt anybody with anything, sir.
All right. You can keep the birds, but make sure they don't cause any problems.
okay.
I've seen a man knock
Alright.
somebody out with hardened bread before, as I walk through.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a bit stale around here. All right. Given the tags, and he again rips off a tag and hands one to each of you, and then for both of your items goes and puts the stickers on and takes it over to the corner with everyone else's stuff. Go on in. Next.
You see what looks like a furnace that has been converted to armor. Walks up, stumbles very slowly up to the desk. And in the armor, you could see a glowing burn of a fire genasi inside.
How tall are you?
Let's say 6'3".
He leans forward, and you're about even keel with him, and he's looking into the arm and says, "What the hell are you?"
Staring back at him are what looks like 2 coal-like eyes back at him. I am Sabia. I am
Sabia.
Sabia.
Sabia. All right. Did you write that one down? Can you spell that?
With an S.
But what are the other letters?
S.
Please tell me you know how to spell.
I know how to spell. It's Sabia. Sabia.
Perfect. Sabia, you got a last name, Sabia?
I don't have a last name.
It's always people who don't have last names. Is that eventually a thing? And he looks down at the kid, and the kid's like, ah. And he's just like, Sabia, where you from?
I am from Factory 258.
258. What do they make over there? I've always been curious.
Steel. We make steel.
Oh, that's right. All right. Never Ember steel work. Wait a second. Why are you here? Shouldn't you be working?
The furnaces cannot burn in this cold,
Oh,
so I
shit.
cannot work.
All right. Well, any weapons you got, put them on the table here.
She brings out a hammer. It looks like a smithing hammer that has been modified a bit. Just
Modified
fits-
how?
It looks like there's some mean spikes put on it. It
Hmm.
doesn't look like a regular crafter's hammer anymore.
Improvised.
Hmm.
All right. Samia, go inside, I guess. He does the same thing. They rip off the ticket. They hand you sort of a name tag, and
Thud, thud, as they walk.
all right. Who's next?
I have never seen a walking furnace before.
It makes the both of us, but all these adventurers are kind of a weird sort.
Yeah. Before you is a dark maroon, like tiefling, short horns that just kind of stick up off his forehead. His hair's been shaved on the sides, and it's just kind of looks like mine. And wears winter gear. No weapons visible on his person.
I guess you're an adventurer too, huh?
That would be.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your name?
I just put down Wick Cawthon.
All right. Wait. I asked, is that your name?
That is my name.
Okay, because you said just put it down as though it's like it's a bit cryptic, is all I'm saying.
My full name is Wicked, but I just go by Wick.
All right, that's good enough. Put it down. He's like, he's scribbling it down. Have you got any weapons, Wick?
Unless I can put myself on the table, I doubt I don't have any weapons.
All right. Go on ahead. Wait, where are you from, Wick? I haven't seen you around.
I'm from Waterdeep.
You lying to me, Wick?
1 second. Not well.
Passive insight beats your deception.
Right. I'm sorry. I have come from Waterdeep, but I don't live there. I lived in Baldur's Gate.
All right. Well, don't go forgetting where you're from next time.
Of course.
Go inside.
I'll go inside.
All right. Who's next?
You see, at a towering about 6'7", wrapped in complete leather, leather pants, a leather jacket with a chainmail that's over it. So it's just a simple riding leather jacket, but with the chainmail over it that slowly, like, this seems to look to send off just these little black wisps of smoke off the top of it. Very deep hooded cowl, and just walks up and stops, and you can't see his face in any way.
I'm sorry. Are you an adventurer?
I am here to help.
That's good. What's your name?
People call me Ryder.
Ryder. All right. Is that your name, Ryder? Is that like a name or a moniker?
Just call me Ryder.
All right. Ryder. Right on, Ryder. Ryder, I'm gonna need to see your face.
Reluctantly, you see his hand just kind of go up, and he just pulls it back, the cowl, just enough to where you can see a very haggard, almost like it looks like the skin on half of the side of his face has been just peeled off. But more cut, like down the middle. You see what slight white bone around the eyes and around his teeth. But the other side is, it looks like just leather that's been just sitting out in the sun for like 20 to 30 years. His eye on his left side is kind of almost milky white with just a little bit of a brown pupil, and the other one seems perfectly fine. And then he quickly just puts it back down.
All right, Ryder. You got any weapons?
He, without even hesitation, he just pulls out his dagger off of his side, slams it down the table, and then he unhooks what looks like a coiled chain that has the end of it wrapped in leather, and then puts that on the table.
All right. Where you from, Ryder?
Everywhere.
All right. Where were you born, Ryder?
The first or second time.
Oh boy. Ryder, I need for the registry. I need to put a place that you're from. I can't quite write everywhere.
Just put Neverwinter.
All right. Put Neverwinter in quotations. All right. Fine. He grips the ticket, hands you the sort of name tag, puts the tabs on your weapons and puts them in the corner. All right. And gestures you in. And this process continues of this individual checking people in for about 10, 15, 20 minutes. There's probably enough time for milling about. What's everyone doing?
I'm having hors d'oeuvres.
Sure, yeah, you get over to the hors d'oeuvres, you find all kinds of, it's a pretty lavish spread. Cheeses, different kinds of seafoods. You've seen different like forms of bread that you've never seen before. It's like very fancy mushroom caps of various colors, and it's kind of curious how many of them are actually edible. And then a number of different kinds of drinks as well.
I'm definitely looking at the mushrooms and trying to figure out if this is poison. I feel like there's one of these, it looks a lot like, I don't think it is, but it kind of does look like one. And I'm just kind of examining mushrooms in the corner.
Sure. Do you want to give me a nature check?
Yeah, sure. A lot of.
Okay, 11. Yeah, with an 11, you look at one of the mushroom caps. There are a whole bunch of little buttons, and this one has like a greenish hue to it. You're not quite sure if it is the green disaster, which if you eat it gives you diarrhea for 3 days straight, or if it is the green harvest, which is edible and tastes
delicious,
mostly like mushrooms.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm just contemplating.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to add fungi to my list of fungi.
Is there like a staff member walking around?
Is there what?
Is there like a staff member walking around?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. 17.
17. With a 17, you look around and you notice that while there are all of these different plethora of adventurers that are around you and a few folks still trickling in, that there are a number of people who have been lined on the outside of this larger court who are all in armor of some sort, all spaced a certain amount. They have not moved. And you can assume based off of the style of their armor that they're in leagues with the same guy that's right outside. There's little balcony areas, and it looks like there are some figures in robes and hoods who are standing above you, about 4 of them. There's no one quite that looks like a staff walking around, milling about with the adventurers. Or if there was, you probably wouldn't be able to tell them from the hodgepodge of adventurers that were there.
Sabia will just start working on some chain link, and will start just hammering it away in the middle of all this nonsense.
Are there any famous people here? Household names?
Famous people. You look around. Yeah, give me the perception check.
On that one. Nope, that's a 7.
You look around and you notice some crests that look kind of familiar. If in terms of like faces of people who are particularly famous, no one seems to jump out at you. Seems like there's some common guilds that seem to be represented among the people here, and as well as some of the crests of. You think that you see someone who might be a harper, but outside of that.
Alright.
All right. So the waiting period lapses relatively quickly. The doors which opened up, you see that the large man with the battle axe on his back walk in, and behind him is his scribe with all of these papers, and the doors slowly close behind them, and with a kind of echoing thud, the sound of the chamber ceiling kind of fills the room. It almost hushes a number of people as they realize that something is happening. As the doors close, a number of the candles and torches come ablaze. They light almost as if on their own, and while there's still some light coming in through the windows above, this helps to give a sense of general ambience and comfort and warmth to the area. The armored man makes his way through the crowd, trying in some ways not to bump shoulders with anyone, but also making his presence known as he gets to the opposite side of the court and stands waiting for a moment. His scribe with the paper skitters behind another door and seemingly disappears. Suddenly, you hear fanfare, trumpets, horns, this sort of introductory, as the large doors on the other side crack open, and from out of it walks a person who is relatively well known within Neverwinter. Lord Daggold Neverember himself enters the chamber, and behind him are 4 individuals, again, 2 with this kind of decked out armor. These 2 individuals' armor is gilded in gold lining, while there's 2 robed individuals. These robes, unlike the ones above you, are like a black, gold, and red sequin, and they stand on either side of him. And he walks in and raises his hands and says, "Adventurers, thank you so much for coming." And everyone slowly turns and orients themselves towards him. I know that there is quite a bit of confusion, and I wanted to try to clear the air before I made it, put my offer on the table. Daggled Neverember is known as the Lord Protector of Neverwinter. He is largely famous for more or less bankrolling Neverwinter itself, a benefactor who came in at a time of need and with his militia established a certain sense of calm and has since actually helped Neverwinter to thrive. Back in the days of the calamity with the rise of Tiamat, he was present as the representative of Neverwinter itself, and now he is still a human man, standing about actually 5'10", but much more wizened than his younger visage. He's probably, if you were to ballpark it, somewhere in his 60s. So looks relatively in good shape, but maybe outside of his prime at this point. I have seen many calamities in my time, situations, disasters, and Neverwinter has come to endure them all. And it has struck me that at such times that strange things take place, that adventurers such as you have served an odd but pivotal role in the conclusions of these stories. My men are spread thin, trying to maintain peace in the city of Skilled Hands, and in spite of much of our research into the cause of the endless winter, we have not been able to find many promising leads. This is distressing, and that is why I turn to you all, he says, gesturing to everyone. I am hoping that by putting a bounty out on any information, any promising leads about the cause of the endless winter, that you all might be incentivized to help me and my men out. And now a number of staff people do come out, and they come out with carts. And on these carts are bags of gold. Or they're just bags filled with things, but they're filled with gold. I am giving each of you a stipend of 100 gold for showing here today, as advertised on a number of the flyers. A charity to thank you for being here. For each additional piece of information that will help us to solve this crisis, there will be additional funding made available to you. And they go about and they essentially hand out bags of gold to each individual, one at a time. And you might each find that you have 100 gold by taking one of these satchels. I wanted you all to know how important this is, and so I came in person today, but as you can imagine, as Lord Protector, things have been quite busy. I will leave you in the care of one of my chosen advisors, the head of the Arcane Research Division, Cornelius Biddle. Cornelius? And he looks around, and from out from the door behind him waddles a 2'10" gnome with a large book that's stacked on his head, and he walks out with the book and plops it out in front of Lord Daggled, and then goes and stands on the book itself, folding his arms. He has a sequined robe adorned with greens and golds, and instead of like a cap of any sort, he has really spiky, frizzy hair, and the hair is like a platinum blonde. His eyebrows are equally as frizzy. Cornelius, if you would do me a favor and answer any questions that these fine adventurers have for you. And good day to all of you. And with that, just as quickly as he came, Daggle Neverember and his posse rolls out.
Vic will start clapping and look at and see no one else's clap. Do you not? All right.
Roll as charisma. Just a charisma check.
Oh, damn, that's 19.
Oh, you start clapping slowly, and then everyone else is like a little confused, and everyone starts to slow clap, and then the whole room kind of erupts into clapping, perhaps happy that they all just got free money.
He got
All
my,
right.
he has my vote, if there's ever a vote.
Yeah, we turned out that giving people free money is a good idea. All right. So you all as adventurers, and then a bunch of people begin crowding around, and essentially asking this gnome questions. One at a time.
Cinder, do you have any questions that you need me to ask for you?
Thinking. Sindri will raise her hand, even though she probably stands out the most among everyone. She's an 8-foot-tall furball.
Yo, Furball, what you want?
Have you all considered, like, how do I put it? It's probably like an imbalance of nature and humanity. What I'm saying is, did y'all do something to cause this? Is that really, is it your fault?
Furball, what are you implying, Furball?
Well, I'm just saying, normally when stuff like this happens, in my experience, it's generally like Indies' fault. That causes stuff like this.
You have experience with this?
Well, not this specifically, but just in general. It's just generally like 90% of the time when I've come across stuff, it's like generally like humanity doing something they're not supposed to do.
Look, we are very careful, part of the Arcane Research Institute, and there's nothing that we've done that's caused this kind of winter. You know what kind of crazy powerful magic it would take to cause something like this?
I mean, a very powerful controlled weather spell, maybe, I don't know.
Sustained for months.
Oh.
Somebody
Believe me.
pissed off.
Believe me, if it was something we caused, we'd know by now.
Okay. I don't know about that though.
On the idea of nature, there wouldn't happen to be like some sort of white dragon that has moved in close to Neverwinter?
We've looked into a number of the bestiaries. It doesn't look like there's anything that would do that. So there's the white dragons in their domains that can cause that, but there would have to be a big ass dragon. And nope, we haven't seen anything like that. There was one time that there was a frost maiden that showed up, and they caused a winter, and that was a problem. But that was further north. Haven't seen anything like that. We can detect really strong magic users and those who are capable of casting domains. Haven't seen a thing.
How long has it? When did it start?
Well, it started in the winter, and it hasn't stopped. Furball, what do you want?
no.
Perhaps like did a groundhog like see his shadow, and maybe it's just like a longer winter than normal.
We have kept records of Neverwinter's winters for about 150 years, and every once in a while we will get a late winter storm that will prolong winter a little bit, but this is far and above abnormal. It's been several months. We should be in the middle of spring.
We've been in the city for a while. Has been continuously snowing since we got here.
So it has been mostly really cold. It has been snowing a lot around the city itself. I mean, it snows, but because of the warmth of the river itself and the ground, it doesn't stick, right? So Mount Hotenau generates enough heat that the ground temperature doesn't typically get hot enough that, or doesn't get cold enough that it will stick or freeze or ice.
Is that a common knowledge that how Neverwinter stays warm?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sabia is gonna answer, being fire, like she's gonna say, has anybody investigated the mountain?
The mountain? You mean Mount Hotenau?
Yes.
I don't think that we have had anyone go out there quite yet. I mean, it's a volcano, so an active volcano causing winter. Is that what you're thinking?
Or a lack of volcanic energy?
We haven't seen any change in the temperature of the river itself, which is one way that we judge the health of the volcano. But I mean, if we try to send a unit out that way to savor the volcano, it would take weeks if they're lucky. The snow drifts have been so harsh that there's no way a bunch of nerds like us are gonna get out there. Yeah, you, the writer.
Hello.
Is that your name?
The writer.
Yes. To go
Okay.
with my previous outburst before. And
Oh,
kind
that
of
was you.
And kind of what the furball was beginning to talk about. Are there any enemies of the state that are powerful enough to cause this?
Look, people have coveted the area that Neverwinter has come to inhabit for quite some time. And we're looking into the possibility that this is some form of terrorism. The only problem is we can't prove anything. For example, we have had run-ins with the Red Wizards of Thay on more than one occasion, and turns out the Thay got bamboozled back in the Calamity. The Dragon Cult did a real number on them. And so, for example, but we can't prove that they've done anything. They've been trying to rebuild this whole time. They would be remiss to try to get revenge for something that wasn't even our fault. So,
What other leads do you have?
what are the leads? You are the leads. That's why we brought you in. You think that Dagnall would do this if we had answers?
Sorry,
ahead.
my friend. My question is: has this been how do I phrase it? Coinciding with any increased cult activity around Neverwinter? I know the Dragon Cult did a little number on the Sword Coast. Maybe this is another new cult or some sort?
We haven't seen anything in terms of aberrant cult activity. There's more than, there's a lot of groups of people that are represented here, and they have sanctuary. But I wouldn't say that we've noticed any increased cult activity. What we have noticed is that because the docks are frozen, we've had to increase trade routes on the land. And because of that, there have been increased raiders. It's probably likely that they're also getting a bit desperate with the winter being the way it is.
On that note, how far does this winter go out? I mean, it's spring down south. How far? How long? Where does winter end?
It seems like the winter extends about where you see this map right here. Oh wait, maybe you don't see it yet. Hold on, give me a second.
I'm at the different one about.
Oh, yeah. I was in Waterdeep last week. I mean, a few weeks ago, and it wasn't anywhere near as cold as it was here.
Not quite. So at some point, once you go down the high road, the cold will break. It's gradual, but there's not having any snow down there. At least that's the report so far.
I have a question.
I got answers. What you want?
I came here to investigate the situation on your farming and agriculture. How's the food situation around here? I mean, I see all these hors d'oeuvres. Y'all doing all right?
Right, look, they don't call Neverwinter the city of skilled hands for nothing. So the nice thing is that even in these conditions, we can continue to make food year round. Trade has suffered significantly, so the quality of that food might go down as time passes. Other things are more problematic, but as long as this whole winter thing doesn't last a whole year, we'll be okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Have you tried divination magic to predict the weather to see if it'll just break eventually?
We've used all kinds of divination magic to try to search for the origin of this problem. If it is a problem, it's not magical in nature. So we will look into the future. It just looks like winter. That's the problem.
Have you tried looking into a future where you just work harder?
That's your job.
Well, let's look into that future then.
Have you tried optimizing?
What does that mean?
You're the one with the book.
All right. So here's the deal. For you can use that 100 gold. It's gonna be helpful. But for every lead that you give me, it's an extra 1,000 gold. So me and my men are gonna set up camp here. And then if you can give me a verifiable lead, it's gonna pay you in gold. That's how desperate we are right now. Any questions? Furbo, I want to talk to you real fast.
Oh, I'm in trouble, Ash.
And he pulls the Furbo aside.
Ash, did I do something wrong?
I'll be right behind you. Don't worry.
Oh, jeez.
Just keep
You're,
5 feet of distance behind.
Give me a stealth check.
I don't mind me.
Clearly see you're getting. Ash, you're kind of getting a little far.
Just stand there with my arms crossed, inching as they walk.
The gnome looks past Furbo and looks at you, squints his eyes. And he's short, so looks.
Oh no.
All right. You wouldn't happen to be a druid, would you?
Yes, I do.
All right, wait there. And he starts to climb up your body, and then sits on your shoulder. I got a druid friend contact out in the field. I haven't heard from him in 2 weeks, and you know this whole deal where you give me money or you give me information, I give you money.
Yeah, I know that whole deal.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you more money if you figure out what's going on with my friend. He's stationed right out of Neverwinter, around Thunder Tree. They're a druid, and they were reporting on the weather circumstances over there for a couple of weeks, and then they went cold silent.
All right, I guess I can look into it. I mean, I'm not in the money, but I think Ash more or less. Ash, he's still back.
What do you like? What kind of things do you like, druid?
What do I like? She will go into like a long tangent of like different animals and plants that she likes.
All right. I will
like
give you this.
If
Go
I could
ahead.
just like have a nice like property with all sorts of different creatures and just get along, that'd be ideal. Honestly, this city right here, if I could just mow over some of most civilization and just have a nice place, refuges for animals, that'd be ideal. But yeah, I'll settle for cash, I guess, until that time comes.
All right. Well, you can buy a lot of things with cash.
That's fair.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Oh, how's it going?
Sorry for being so late. There was like a last-minute surprise dinner for me.
Surprise.
Oh, no issue. You aren't the only person who I will do a second round of the session 0 with. So,
Oh, okay.
so
Is it too late
you
for
want,
me?
we can coordinate that because I also have to do it with Jen outside of here anyway. And then I'll give you extra bonus things to do.
Ooh, okay.
All right. You know what Thunder Tree is?
Do I know where Thunder Tree is?
Give me an intelligence check.
Does a druid know where a tree is?
Yes.
It's on the map.
There's a very good in the wood.
Yeah, we have the map.
I imagine that I do. So, sure. Oh, 18? Yeah, definitely.
Our Disney princess
Absolutely.
knows what that is.
And what was the name of the druid that I'm supposed to be looking for again? What's that name?
You'll know him when you see him.
What?
Oh my god. It's like, alright, I will head over to Thunder Tree and look for your druid friend. I'll like
Perfect.
turn to look to Ash and just like wave to him.
What, do you want me to come over there?
We got some.
Oh.
All right,
I,
thanks. And
I tippy toe up to.
he crawls down your body and back onto his book.
Consent,
Owen.
man.
Give me a perception check.
I perceive nothing.
You are really engaged with what's going on.
Mm.
Doesn't seem like anything out of the ordinary. Would anyone else like to give me a perception check?
No.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
That is sick.
How desperate are we?
Wow.
Do I need to look?
Progressively
Look at those
getting better.
All right, step aside, boys.
You got this.
Mm-hmm.
We see nothing.
I see nothing.
Oh,
The number's going up.
hey, thank goodness. It's a DC 10. Sabio, you notice that among the adventurers, there's like a small group in the corner, and they're not being like too loud or but too hush hush, and they kind of blend in. But if you were poking over, it looks like one adventurer like gives a little shove to another one, and I don't know. There's some kind of a conflict happening over there. Would you check it out, or would you leave it alone?
Sabia would like things to work smoothly, so she's going to go over there and see what's going on.
Okay.
Stomp,
So
stomp,
what you see is a handful of adventurers, all with a similar crest, and the crest is a chest, and the in a crossed fashion, there's a torch and a shovel. A similar crest, and they're kind of grouped around two other adventurers, and one of them is like, this is your best chance. If you wanna join up, now's the time to do it. The cost is only 100 gold. First day, it's not gonna be too hard. All you gotta just hand it over, and it looks like they're kind of bullying, pressuring these two.
Hey, you need to stop doing that. they got their gold fair and square. And if you want them to contribute to your crafters guild or whatever the hell, then they need to do work. But you cannot
Oh.
take this work from them for free.
Whoa, whoa, taking work. No, 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 you misunderstand, Tin Can. Look, this is a once-in-a-lifetime offer. We're letting these two gentlemen here join up with the treasure hunters for 100 gold only. Actually, that's a good deal. You should join us too.
I would like to perceive how hardworking these gentlemen look.
How might you go about that?
Do they look like they actually have done any level of labor? Like, anything strenuous?
A few of them have some, like, more bulky muscles.
Hmm.
If you're just getting a cursory glance of them. You're not some crafting guild. You heard of the treasure hunters, haven't you?
Have I heard of the treasure hunters?
Yeah, give me an intelligence check. History check.
Even with the crappy perception, by now would we have seen this commotion go down with?
Giant tin can
yes.
is talking.
Yeah.
Hmm. Rolled 6.
6?
Yeah.
Look, you idiot. The treasure hunters are the #1 guild in Neverwinter. Dungeon delvers, spelunkers. We find all the treasure, we bring it back. So you know, if you want to roll, you want to find out all the money, you're just gonna be with the treasure hunters, ain't that right? And it seems all of us goons agree.
Ryder's gonna step up next to, and seem to be a problem here.
No problems. Actually, I'm willing to extend the invitation to everybody. 100 gold today, and I'll let you join the treasure hunters.
And it just so happens that the 100 gold we just made is the price for entry.
Oh, how about that? I didn't even think about that, boys. What'd you guys think? And they all laugh.
These guys just grifters. I want to try to get like an insight on them. They're just
Yeah.
trying to make money quickly.
Yeah, give me an insight check.
Crime on crime connection.
Oh yeah.
21. They are at the very least bullies. They have. It seems as though maybe they do have a little bit of clout and power, but they're definitely using it in a way that is less than savory.
Ryder's gonna step up to the leader guy, to the point where he can see into his cowl. You're going to leave everyone alone, and if they want to join, they will come to you.
And give me an intimidation check.
Come on, roll 20, don't you fuck me. Yeah, you fucked me.
10, he steps back. It's like, whoa, 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 man. Hey, if you wanted to join so bad, you just let us know. Hey, just go ask around the room real fast. If people don't want to join, they don't have to. No pressure. But just know that this 100 gold offer is a once in a lifetime deal. And he steps back, and they all kind of disperse from the two that they were badgering.
Are you alright?
I mean, yeah, I guess 100 gold is a little bit of a deal to be a part of the treasure hunters, but I don't know.
What are they? I'll just pop out from behind the giant stove top, whatever. This giant stove. I'll just pop out. Are they rather famous? I've never heard of them before.
I have heard of them. They are a group that has come into prominence lately. And you see amongst the two of them is what looks like a humanoid man, but if you look closely at his face, his eyes have snake-like slits to them. I have heard of these treasure hunters. They've come into prominence largely as a result of some high-level magic items that they've been able to find as of recent. They're a fairly large organization. But all these fools, they don't know the real problem. I already have a lead. I don't need the treasure hunters.
And your name is
Call me Skid.
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 Right.
That's what they call me, Skid. Like they call this guy Ryder, right? Ryder? That's what it says on your name tag.
I just grab the name tag, rip it off.
He has a little bit of a lisp, but you can tell it's because he has an odd elongation of both of his canines.
Ryder, I think you should put on the name tag. How will people know who you are if they've never met you?
They can ask.
Okay.
True. Look.
Oh,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was just going to agree.
I'm gonna get a jump on all these guys, but I need a little bit of help. Maybe I could interest a few of you because it's 1,000 each, and I know exactly where to go.
I'll look him up and down. Does he give like a certain archetype of adventurer, like mage, or fighter, or rogue?
Give me a perception or an insight check.
Go for
Something.
insight. Actually, let's go with
How
perception.
tall is he?
He is about 5'4".
I'm literally looking down upon this snake man.
Absolute wizard height.
You get bullied like a wizard.
He has a cloak and a hood, and boy, just based off of his more slender disposition, you might assume that this is kind of rogue-like, but it could maybe be a ranger of some sort.
Oh, I'm looking him up and down, and I go, well, Skid. That's a terrible name, really. Like, I'm sorry, your parents must have hated you, but
It's a street name. It's not my birth name. It's a street name.
His real name could be Sid, for all we know.
oh, I think his real name is Sid.
Well, anyway, you have a lead. I'm actually very interested.
1,000 gold's a lot of gold, and that's a lot more I can make when not gambling.
Exactly. So the gnome mentioned the Red Wizards of Fae. What they don't know is that there's catacombs underneath Neverwinter. Somewhere between here and the Underdark. There, the Red Wizards have whole libraries. It might be a little bit dangerous getting down there, which is why I probably couldn't do it myself.
I'm in. We can talk payment later.
I like this guy.
I'm not one to shy away from the dark. You have my assistance as well.
Perfect. If this has anything with the Red Wizards of Fae, we'll figure it out down there.
I think
How about you,
we'll-
Tin Can? That was funny. Tin Can.
Small amount of smoke pops out of the stove. There's like a little stovetop vent. You can just see a little smoke just pops out more and more angrily. Yeah. Fuck, I got your accent. I will join.
Aye. All right. Well, it's gonna take a few days to get us down there, so we'll probably all need to prepare.
Of course.
Meet me here in a few days. And he hands you in 2 days. There you go. And he hands you a piece of paper with an address on it. It looks like it's actually a business card of sorts.
All right. I think until then I will do some more recruiting, and I'll look Owen in the eye and be like, "You didn't say anything."
I got half a mushroom in my mouth. Hello.
Do you want to join us in the Underdark, or in the catacombs, at least under the city?
Oh, is that, you think something's down there?
I don't know. That's why we're going down there.
Well, I'm always up for a little adventuring, and sounds like as much a lead as any.
And did you two leave? I'm literally just grabbing anyone that asked the gnome questions, basically.
If you look at us holy folks on the side, I'm like, no, sir, we are not giving you our 100 gold. You're not giving him your 100 gold, Sindri.
Like, I'm about to give the whole dude.
At this point, knowing about the guy that you were talking to earlier is like has his both hands holding between 8 and 12 bags of gold, and it seems like there's like the dudes that's in his posse that have a similar crest, but there's some other adventurers that are now following them as they walk out.
But Ash, he said a deal of a lifetime.
Wherever there's a bandwagon, it's a trap. You need to learn this about society.
I have a feeling we're going to be fighting them for leads. This probably till we figure this out.
They're probably lazy and unemployed, and we can kill them very easily.
Actually, I think they're one of the recent come up. Okay, it's fine.
No, Owen, speak your mind.
Oh, I don't think they're lazy. They're on the come up, and they're one of the stronger guilds. And I'm from here. I'm sorry, I'm Owen. It says it on my name tag, but it's nice to meet y'all.
Looks at name tag, looks at you in the face. Hello, Owen. Offers
No
big
one need those
hand.
ones.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Sorry, Owen. I wouldn't eat those ones. And he points to another mushroom on the plate.
Oh, is it the one I already ate? Yeah. Why wouldn't you eat them?
Constitution saving throw.
Why would they
Reroll
serve
character.
mushrooms like this?
I guess since we
I'm a
spot
constitute guy.
since we spot you guys as the minority who shouldered
What?
off the guys asking for money,
Can't say that, Quentin.
we'll just like inch over to you as we keep getting away from the crowds.
Oh,
Gentlemen,
hello.
Sindri, he only told you about the Thunder Tree, right?
Yeah, he only told me, and I would have told you about it.
What happened to Thunder Tree?
We were just discussing the botany of the area around the Thunder Tree.
Oh.
No, I think Cinder was gonna say something.
Tell us what.
Nothing.
Did I say it like that?
Are you guys like banding up as like a counter effort to their banding up over there? Is that what's going on here? Is that what I'm seeing?
Partly.
No, yes. We are the band of empty asshole.
Empty asshole. Just a quick insight check on the group to see if these guys look generally trustworthy or if they're the shadier types, and then that will determine how well I roll on this, I suppose.
I'll give you. Can I give you the help action on that?
Oh,
Is it judging them together?
I'm just like eyeing them up, yeah, as a group. Like, should I be talking to these people, or should we just go our own way?
It's like a dream team.
Does anyone have an evil alignment? No. Okay. So if you rolled an insight check above a 10, then you can tell that at the very least they're not explicitly evil.
I'm not explicitly evil.
Tell you what, if you guys are forming up a little group, I'll be forward with you. I'm an agricultural priest, and Sindri is a woman of the a druid. We'll just say a druid. Not socialized too well, or exposed to society as we know it here, and we're not. This is a big task. There's a lot to figure out here. Our gods both are in agreement that something is amiss here and that we need to investigate, but we can't do it alone. So I know y'all are probably in it for the money, and that's okay. But
Mostly.
The money.
mostly the money.
I need to get back to work.
Excuse me?
My job.
Like, are you late? Are you
No.
right now? Is this your lunch
No,
break? Oh
I
my
want to
God,
be
I'm
on the
sorry,
clock.
we're taking it.
What I can glean off of her is she's a workaholic.
No, there is no such thing. There's only good workers and bad workers.
That sounds like somebody caught in the grind.
There is no such thing as a grind. There's only fulfilling work. But anyways.
Please tell me you have a union.
Squid.
Smoke.
Shante?
Yeah, I'm surprised you caught my name. Yes, it is Ashante.
I mean,
Do you
it's
have
on
a
your
name tag?
chest.
It's on your chest.
Except for the writer.
Yeah, let's just
Except for Ryder.
You're Owen. You're. Just like you're Owen. You're Sabia. You're Wick, and you are pointing at Ryder. It's like if only you had a name tag.
What does Sabia's eyes look like? Are they just like glowing little eyes in a flame, or are you
So-
like?
If you've seen like a little stove, you know how like they have those like old little grills where you can kind of like look into them. You can see like her eyes, but her form kind of looks like fire, like a fire person, just like a flame that is walking or like moving around. Her eyes just look like black holes, essentially, like in
Ooh.
the middle of it. So it's like you are staring literally into blackness when she looks at you.
Fascinating.
Ashante, you said you are a kind of a worker of the land, a farmer priest?
I am. I work the land. I have a green
She
thumb.
looks
and
at your hands.
they are rough. they handle shovels and hoes all day.
Good. Good. It'll be good to work with you.
Eh,
Are you checking everyone's hands out? Or she like holds up her hands?
What are your hands?
One arm is a wooden prosthetic, like just feels like tree bark, just rough tree bark. The other one's a massive side hand. That's kind of a little bit of calendar.
Okay. I know some comrades who've lost hands to factory work.
We are going to go
Never be in a
investigate
factory.
the
I would
factory.
never step foot in something like that. That sounds awful.
Are you unemployed? We can fix that.
We are going to actually go to the Thunder Tree to follow up on a lead. There's a missing druid there.
But we have a lead to go to the catacombs.
What does the catacombs have to do
What does
with
druid
the
have
cold
to do with it?
nature? This is about nature. Druids are all about nature.
Well, you should probably know there may be a contingent of red wizards in the catacombs.
Yes, a bunch of formerly employed mages underground are angry that we work in a good society, so they casted Snowball on the city, I believe.
Who? How do you know about this?
The snake.
guy named Skid.
Is he still here?
It is gone.
He slithered away.
He gave me this.
If there's anything I'd like to point out, given what just happened back there with those thugs, who claim that they can give you membership in a club without disclosing their title or proving it, how do you know this man knows for a fact that there's red wizards in catacombs beneath the city?
I don't.
How do you know that finding a druid will solve anything?
Because that's the man who's hiring us.
Never remember?
Why would he give you a lead and not us?
I think he assumed that all druids know each other, and that's
Do
Uh.
all druids know each other?
That's racist.
yeah, I know.
Don't all druids know like some sort of secret language?
So, for the DM, my passive insight, if I could hear the conversation between the little gnome and Sindri, my passive insight is 16. Would that have picked up on whether the gnome was lying or not about the information?
No, you probably would have made a direct check to try to get an idea of whether or not he was telling the truth or not. You probably discern a certain level of, like, do they seem trustworthy? Just
See,
by
the point I'm
gleaning them?
asking is, this guy was just some snake guy. The other guy is a man of authority, designated by Neverember himself. That's the point I'm making.
Either way, we're already in the city. Might as well go in the catacombs. Can always go into the woods tomorrow, or next week, or what have you.
How many days deep is the catacombs travel?
No, I've never been down there.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's a timetable on this. He wants me to meet him at this address in about 2 days.
2 days.
Oh?
Mm.
How far is Thunder Tree?
But
It's
also,
not far.
Isn't it really down? But the catacombs somewhere halfway between the Underdark and surface.
Well, I'm sure the river's only unfrozen in the city proper, right?
Nope, actually, the river flows through the. As you're looking on that thing, the map there, you're seeing it there. It flows through the woods, and it comes from the volcano heats the water, so actually the whole water system is
Still
like
flowing.
still flowing. It's above freezing.
We can take a river ship and be in Thunder Tree probably later today.
Fair point.
Is that topographically accurate?
Is it? Oh,
I think it flows down to the sea, Zach.
I was gonna
you
say
can still go upriver.
Go up
It's
river.
roughly 5 hexagons away.
What does that even mean?
who must have a ruler? I saw it. Who did it?
How many hexagons?
I'd also
Oh
like
no, we
to,
murdered the god. The
That-
map
that's-
is moving.
before we
Not
actually
scale.
go out and adventure beyond the safety of the city, I want to ask, you all look like such peculiar types. What do each of you do?
I work.
Silence.
I will start. I am a simple gambler,
You don't work.
but I do have some knowledge of the occult. Let's just go with that.
Is that why your name Wicked? Or Wick?
Yeah, somewhat. My family is a bit eccentric.
Right.
I'm bit of a sellsword, I guess. I have a bit of a cloak on. I open it up a bit, and I have a tiny mark of a harper, in training, as it were. But
Oh,
hoping.
Harper. That's nice to have around here.
Can you tell me more about these Harpers?
well, a bit of a It's a faction, a little secretive, but in general, we're doing good where good deeds need doing. My father was one.
What
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
What about you, Ryder?
I'm being pulled towards something. The only thing that comes to my mind is, people laugh at it when I say it. Vengeance.
And
What are you avenging?
As far as I know, it's my own death. I just don't know who. I just don't know who killed me.
are you?
I have this. Go ahead.
Was it violent?
It was quick and from behind.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But then I woke up and all I have is this thing in the back of my head just telling me that I need to finish something. I mean, before that, I was a paladin. Surprisingly enough, of vengeance. But gods have changed. Motivations have changed. I'm hoping that in my time trying to take care of this, I might be able to find out more of what I need to do.
Thank you for sharing. Well, I think it speaks for itself, but I know how to heal people. And I have some powers granted by Chanthea. So if you get wounded, you know, better hope you're in my good graces.
If you want to help you, I can.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that then.
They cut up with the animals. What do you do?
Me? Well, I guess I'm always there to, similar to Ash, I can heal, but I guess what I rely on is gathering the help of nature and the creatures it provides. I always want to give me a helping hand when I call upon them. Sometimes they do, they can give a little boost in times of need. So, I'm just here to support.
Well, we make quite the motley crew.
Is the adventurers, just as the number of you kind of form a group, it seems as though others are doing in kind. That a number of adventurers have come as single, solitary folks, and then have kind of started forming their own little factions within the court, and then do find themselves walking out as it seems as though other people are following their own leads, trying to chase down the bounty. Many of them surprised, maybe even glad to hear that they don't have to solve the problem, they just have to bring information. And who knows the kinds or forms that information might take. So thanks for joining me for session 0. We'll start next time with everyone getting all their weapons back. We're outside the court and setting off into whichever direction that you all feel you might find something useful.
Well done, thank you.
Yeah, I'll work with Ethan and Jen to make sure that they're caught up and give them some maybe unique arcs into the story to help you all out.
Badass. Really appreciate it. This is gonna be great.
Nope.
I'm
Yeah.
enjoying everyone's character so far. I like how a lot of us have accents of some sort.
Well, until next time, I suppose.
For the next time. So yeah, next week. I don't know. Swing that. Yeah, next week. I guess we can run another game and set off, and then I'll be gone for a few weeks, and then we'll pick up in March.
Cool.
All right.
Sounds
All right.
good.
I'll get a few one shots. Maybe set up and ready to go.
So yeah, I think that Jen is skipping one of the weekends, and then gonna run it on a Tuesday instead of a Saturday or something for subterfuge. So.
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right.
Well, good night,
All right.
everyone.
Bye.
Night.
Nice.